Welcome back to the Travsessed podcast. We're your hosts, Kim and Aaron. We are healthcare travelers and the creators of Travsessed. And in this week's episode, we are going to be talking to you about our amazing business class experience on Emirates on our way home from Bali, which was 24 hours total in the air, all on business class.
And we're going to just share kind of some fun stories of our travels to and from Bali and just like some behind the scenes things of a crazy ass flight.
Mm-hmm. All right, but first, before we jump into the episode, we wanted to talk to you guys about Travsessed Adventures 2024. It is shaping up to be the most epic year of Travsessed Adventures, and we want you guys to take part in pretty much every trip. So just,
Start
mortgage your
your
house,
pennies.
save your money, and come on every single adventure with us.
I know, it's funny. We've had multiple people say, like, we're just going to keep you on retainer, or keep us, basically give us information to their card so that we can just charge every time we have a new trip so that they can just keep coming on all the trips.
I'm totally cool with.
I know.
I would love to have all of them on every trip.
So just as an update, we are getting ready. We talked about this a little bit last week, but we're getting ready to launch Peru. Again, we're just waiting for this website to go live, which was supposed to be done on Friday, but it wasn't. So we're just waiting on that. So hopefully this week. So we're launching Peru. But
Peru is Inca Trail and Amazon, which is new this year.
I'm really, really excited because we've never been.
To the Amazon.
Yeah, to the Amazon. This will be our third time going to Peru, but fourth time?
Fourth time. Fourth trip. Fourth group.
Yes, exactly.
But third time total.
Yeah. But it will be cool because we'll get to really experience two completely different sides of Peru. So we'll be in the mountains and then we get to go into the jungle, the rainforest, just to end our trip there. I'm so excited to be able to experience that for the first time. And so it's going to be an amazing trip. So we are going to be launching Peru, Inca Trail, Amazon jungle this week. Then we have Oaxaca.
Well, shit, when this comes out, are we launching? That's kind of funny.
No, 'cause this will come out Thursday, which is my birthday.
Whoop, whoop. Happy birthday, Boogie.
So we will not be launching that day because it's my birthday, but probably that weekend, I think, Sunday. That's our plan, is to launch Peru Sunday. But again, make sure you're on the trip interest list you can join that over on our website, Travsessed.com, because we will just be sharing the kickoff party link there with everybody on the interest list. So then we have Oaxaca the following week we're going to be launching.
Yeah, Oaxaca, Mexico. That is going to be one of my favorite trips. Kim and I went on a research trip and did the entire trip and then made changes and different things to it that we found when we were there. Oaxaca is unassuming to most people, and I think would be people's just eye-opening experience.
It's a totally different side of Mexico. And it's all about food, so much food, so much good food, culture, mezcal. We're going to be doing an overnight hiking experience in the mountains that there's 8 different communities that are part of the indigenous tribe that was there that are still there. So anyways, it's going to be such a freaking cool trip. I am so excited to take people there. And then finally, the next week, because we're leaving for Patagonia in 4 weeks, so we're launching all of these trips before we leave for Patagonia, but we will be launching Everest Base Camp. That trip is actually pretty much ready to go. We just have to fine-tune
some stuff.
So that is going to be amazing. 17 days. It's a long one. But we will be hiking through the Himalaya mountains, staying in little tea houses in small villages throughout the Himalaya mountains, hiking all the way to Everest Base Camp. I'm just really, this is a bucket list.
It's been a bucket list for me ever since I turned 40. I was like, I want to start going on all the crazy adventures around the world. So I've already done Inca Trail, Salcantay. We're going to hike Kilimanjaro. We're going to do Everest Base Camp. I just want to keep going.
Yeah. So super super, super exciting. So make sure you're on the interest list if you want to learn more about those trips coming up. It's going to be pretty freaking cool.
Yep. And then when we come home, we'll do Greece and New Zealand for 2025. And then also possibly, due to interest, another Bali trip.
Yeah.
Which would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I hope to get another Bali trip in this year.
I hope so, because I just miss it.
I know. I do too.
For myself.
I do too.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Flight crew, please prepare for departure.
Okay, so I think we should start with... Wait, did we already talk about this?
I feel like we
already
did.
I think, because it was like the crazy flight to...
With the girl screaming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was screaming and crying.
Okay,
that we were all going to die.
Yeah. So we already told
that.
We already told that story. So we don't need to tell that again. But it's just funny because it basically led up to the stark contrast. I guess you could high level overview if people didn't hear that episode.
Nah, they can go back and listen because I don't want to repeat ourselves. Like it was, again, flying to Bali is a crazy experience because you can't get any further. It's 2 days, 2 full days of travel. It is, 48 plus hours. It is
with layovers and everything.
It is a long haul experience. And so, what was I saying about that?
I don't know. Ugh. You were like boiling up while you were flabbergasted.
Why?
While I was speaking. And so I just stopped talking.
What? I was not flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Okay,
because I've...
Put your phone down.
Excuse me, the Instacart person is shopping currently, so they're always like, they don't have this, can we swap this out? So I have to stay on them or they just get you crazy shit.
Okay, so bear with us through our Instagram shop or Instacart shopping experience right now. What were you saying?
So I was saying that I'm also talking about manifesting a little bit because I manifested this whole Emirates thing, which we can get into. But what I think is interesting is that on the way to Bali, we had an opportunity to upgrade to business. And it was only for one of the legs. It was only from Dubai to Bali, which was 10 hours. And we were like, no, we want the whole thing. You want the whole experience. And we dragged our feet on it. And then
we did it.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
We did. We did.
And then we were just like, I don't know. And then finally we were like, oh, let's do it. And then by the time we decided, it was gone, right? So we couldn't even upgrade anymore. And
it was funny because I was at work and I actually was trying to do it during a case while I was circulating, trying to move points. And it kept saying, sorry, cannot move your points. There's an issue. Come back in a little bit. And finally, I went back in to refresh and it said no available upgrades. And I was so mad.
We were so disappointed, but I always feel like everything happens for a reason.
100%. And
it was okay, whatever. It just wasn't the vibe. And honestly, if we were going to do it, I wanted to do it the whole time. And I did want to do it on the way home because there is something about both trips have run. They were super successful. It's a celebratory thing. Now we're just heading back home. And so you feel more relaxed because heading there, there's nerves and you're about to show up for 2 groups and it's more
and taking every time we go into business class, we actually don't sleep. We never sleep because we're too excited and having too much fun.
I mean, the amount of wine and champagne we're drinking, we're up all night.
Watching every movie possible, just laid out in our seats. I probably sleep 2 hours. I was laughing because I got a full 8-hour sleep in economy plus, and literally slept for 8 hours straight through an entire flight. Woke up refreshed, hit the ground in Bali running, feeling really good. But then coming home, I was zonked out for 4 days.
Yeah, which is hilarious. We always sleep better in economy because we drug ourselves with Benadryl and then we pass out where you don't want to miss it in business. So you're just up drinking and drugging and like up all night, you know?
Cruising through the aisles.
Yeah. Talking to people.
Yeah, everybody else is passed out, and Kim and I are walking through the plane like, woohoo.
No, I like peel my eyes open and like make myself stay awake because I don't want to ruin it, you know? So, okay, so I was like, whatever. It just wasn't meant to be this time. So, fun fact, I said, because Emirates business class, obviously Emirates first class is goals. Like that's the one where you have like your private little suite where the door closes or whatever. But Emirates business class is just supposed to be great. It's supposed to be like one of the best business classes that you can fly. We've flown business class on
Polaris,
United, American. Is that it? I guess that's it.
We've never done a lay down in Delta, but we've done their first class, but it's domestic, which is like,
and like the
oh my
lady
God,
stole our drink.
That's on the way home. We can finish with that. That's actually quite funny.
We had like a batshit crazy flight attendant,
which started off really nice. She started off very sweet, and then all of a sudden turned really weird. Like it got bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll get to that.
Keep going.
So I always said I want for my 40th birthday.
By your 40th birthday, right? Or no, on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I wanted to fly business Emirates business. And I didn't care about the destination. I just wanted to go as long as we possibly could. And I just want to fly around the world on Emirates business class. Like that was my goal. 40th birthday. Okay. And I'm a big believer in manifesting and like really feeling into what you want and believing it's possible.
Well, can you talk about that a little more? Because I remember that there was that comment on Instagram about saying like, stop saying you're manifesting. You guys work really hard.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so I think that's a good, it stayed with me. That comment stayed with me because it's just like, we understand that. But it's funny the perception that other people got. It's not like we just like talk about things and put it out into the universe. To get Emirates business class all the way home took work.
Yeah, I think, and this is like truly how we feel and how we do life. Like I believe in both, right? Is first, because your energy and being able to envision and create the life you want to live or whatever it is that you're creating for yourself first begins with that vision within yourself and that belief that you can create that and that clarity around what you actually want and like focusing on that. That is so powerful and so important. But you also have to take steps. There's action involved, right? And so yes, you and I for the last 8 years have been on this entrepreneurial journey and we have
9.
It's 8. 2015. No, it wasn't 2015.
Yes, it was. We just talked about this.
When did we get our personal trainer's license? 2015. We got our personal trainers.
Yes, it is 2024.
Wow, 9 years.
I said that.
Okay.
2025 is 10 years.
That's insane. Okay, so we were personal trainers and we started this whole like fitness thing. That was our first.
2015 was when I told you that you can no longer travel anymore, that we have to focus on a business.
Which was like dumb as fucking shit. Like, which is so funny because we end up full circle moment of like coming back to like what I always envisioned and wanted, which was always incorporating traveling into my work. And like, that's
manifestation.
100%. So the work is important. The taking inspired action. Like we work hard. We work hard every day. We take steps every day. There's always action involved, right? Like this is just me personally, but I think whatever you believe and get behind is whatever you believe and get behind. Like that will be true for you. My thought system and what I believe is that it's a combination of both. I don't believe that you just sit around and kind of envision things and wait around for it to happen. I believe you get clear on what you want and you feel it from within. You believe that you're worthy of it, that you can create that, and you get so crystal clear on what it is that you want and feel that within yourself, and then you take action every day towards it, and you keep coming, you do the combo of both every single day, and you will create the thing that you want to create.
And I think, like, to me, it's, you know, and I believe that wholeheartedly, but basically the thought of when you actually are manifesting using the quote unquote word manifesting, you know, it's when you and I actually feel into something, we believe it to be true, we can feel it in our guts, we can see ourselves actually doing it. So then when you are taking the steps, if you're not moving towards that feeling, then you know you're off in a way. And so for me, it's about visualizing and seeing like what is possible for us and what feels good and what I want to achieve, because then every action step that we're taking is driving in that direction. And when you really feel those things and you can feel it as if it's already happened, then you know you're on the right path, because all those things that you need to do to get there start to open up and start to become really like visual and like wide. And you're like, whoa, if I do this, I can get to that step. I can get one step closer to what we've been manifesting. So I need to take these 2 steps and it's going to happen. And so it becomes very clear on how to get there when you've manifested and actually felt in to what it is that you want in the future.
100%. And I believe in co-creating with the universe. So it's like you're when you're in alignment with your vision, then you get inspired guidance all the time, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll write this email. Maybe I'll talk to this person. Maybe I'll try. Like, you get these inspired hits, and then you take action on them, right? Like, I think all of that together is such a beautiful combination. And just, again, my belief is like both of those things work together, and I don't separate them at all. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you and I have always had the same vision, even though things have changed throughout the course of our entrepreneurial journey. Like, obviously we started out as personal trainers because we were really into health and fitness, and we started training people in, like, you know, our garage and doing circuits, and then, you know, all of these different things. Obviously we don't do that anymore, but the vision that we always had from day one for our life, and when you and I bought our Apple computers, and this was in Pacifica, California, and you had a pink one, I had a pink one, you had a blue one case, and we took a picture on the beach in Pacifica, and we're like, his and her, like, we're digital, we're going to work from our computers, having absolutely no idea how. /
I've never worked from a beach ever, because it's like horrible. You can't see your screen.
Yeah, it's just for the photo op, because it's like there's sand, there's wind, there's sun, you can't see shit.
I'm not taking my computer out there. Yeah.
But that, even though we had no idea what that even meant, and like we didn't even start out that way, because we started training people, and that was like not from our computers. We had to like be there. But that vision was always so clear of what did we want. We wanted to always work from our computers, so from anywhere in the world. And that was before digital nomading, and like that was even a thing. Mm-hmm. Like that wasn't even a thing we knew about or were aware of in that moment. Mm-hmm. But we wanted freedom. We wanted location freedom. We wanted to work from anywhere. We wanted to work from an airport, or from our home, or from
Bali,
Italy, or like that vision was so clear. It's like, I don't want to be trapped inside 4 walls and have to be somewhere at a certain time and clock in and out. So we always knew that from the beginning. How can we make that happen? But we have to have freedom in our life. We want to work from our computers. We wanted to share our own life experiences to inspire other people or entertain other people, or just be real.
Open people up to the possibilities that they could achieve.
Yeah. And so we always knew that from the very beginning. And then also being able to make an impact with mm-hmm. people, and to be able to, again, just sharing things that we're learning to make a positive impact in their life, and traveling.
Well, and I would also say too that we realize that having a healthy body and a healthy mind allows you the opportunities to go and experience things that a lot of people don't get to experience due to lack of ability to walk and run and move and feel good about mm-hmm. themselves. Like, when you feel good about yourselves, you're like, let's take on a challenge to go have an experience that is going to like be life-changing, right? And so that was always intertwined as well.
Yeah. And then incorporating traveling into that, I always knew that travel had to be a part,
the backbone
of what I wanted to do. Like I had to see the world. I had to live in the world. And again, at this point, we had only gone like on a cruise to freaking Europe and like Dominican. Like we weren't big travelers at that point.
Jamaica.
But I still knew and I still believed and I felt that so deeply. And that was always a part of our vision. Always. It's literally that vision, that clarity of the life you and I have always wanted to create, the work we wanted to do, the vision of the life we wanted to live together, that has never changed. The form is, I mean, even when we were personal trainers and we created that membership site, and it was like the relationship corner, the spiritual corner, the self-growth corner. And again, we were just using our own life experiences to teach lessons or share stories, to like always in a funny way, always wanting to entertain, but also wanting to like leave something that maybe someone else could apply into their own life in some way. So that never changed. And that was 9 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. So it's crazy to kind of look back on that journey and just be like, so when we're talking about manifesting, because this is how we got on this subject, coming from me manifesting the Emirates flight, is just that clarity and focus of what you want to create and going after it every single day and believing in it. Because I honestly too believe that you can do the work, but if you don't have the energetic side as well, the deep inner knowing within you that it's possible, and that feelings, again, for me, it wasn't just like, oh, I want to like travel. It was like a deep knowing within my soul, like within my knower, that I was like, no, you have to, this is a part of your destiny. I knew it so deeply, even though it didn't make sense, or us wanting to work remotely and have freedom. It was like not like a haphazard thing. It was something we both really felt.
Well, why do you think, again, like that manifestation also helps you with the vision, the visuals, the feelings of attempting things, trying everything possible to make that happen? Why do you think we're like, let's start shooting YouTube videos? That allows us to travel the world, have experiences, inspire others to travel. It's still within that realm. But then we realize that vehicle is not exactly the way that we want to live our lives. That's not for us. So then because you kept that manifestation, that visualization, it led to what's another way we can do this? Keeping the same backbone. That backbone has never changed. It's just been the vehicle to get there has been different. And we had to try all of those things. And the fact is because you knew this is what you're supposed to be doing, it's not like completely giving up and just going back to the hospital and working 9 to 5s. We kept trying new things because of the feeling that we both had that this is what we are supposed to be doing.
100%.
So it helps you not ever quit, because you know within yourself, no matter when I reach it, I'm going to reach it. Not sure when, don't care about when, because honestly, I'm so connected to this vision, and this is what we're supposed to be doing. When it happens, it will happen, and we will find the right steps to get there.
Right. It all happens in divine timing.
Divine timing.
So I was saying that I think you have to be so connected to that overall vision, backbone, whatever, the kind of depths of everything, and really feel it. Because I think if you just do the action part without the clarity and the energetic connection, in my mind, that doesn't work. So it's always both for me. We've always combined both, and that has served us well. Mm-hmm. We have really manifested everything we've ever desired. Mm-hmm. Closer, just like small things to larger things. But we are truly creating the life of our dreams and how we want to live it. And we have incorporated traveling into what we do, and we can work from our computers. And yes, like we still are working in the hospital, and that's a part of that right now. But it's all kind of merged together in like this beautiful way that has, I don't know. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you can get back into your manifestation of Emirates.
So I was like, that I'm flying Emirates business. Like, that is what I want. I want it to be the longest flight possible. I was envisioning us like on the plane, drinking the champagne, just like in our seats, so comfortable in those cozy jammies. And like, I could just like see it and feel it. And yes, that was for like my 40th birthday. But then, and that was something that was important to me because I'm obsessed with planes, right? People who know, like, I love planes, I love flying, I love everything about the whole traveling experience. So to me, something like flying Emirates business is like life-changing, right? It's something I value so much.
And it was.
And so anyways, it ended up working out that we took the action.
Let's talk about the action really quick, because one, we're in Bali. We come to the decision of like, we have the points for this. Let's like try to make this happen. So then I'm like, Kim, you got to call. So she gets on the phone and there was no upgrades available for the current flight we had. So then the guy starts looking and he says, well, if you change your flight to the later one and have more of a layover in Dubai, then we can get you both legs of business. So you keep your first flight, get to Dubai, you have a 7-hour layover instead of a 1 hour and 45 minute layover. And then we can get you on business for that flight home, which then still allowed us enough time to catch our flight in New York home, which we ended up missing, which is funny.
Wait.
We ended up missing that flight.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we got delayed in
medical
Dubai.
emergency.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So anyway, we missed that flight, but got on another one, no big deal, and actually continued our journey and got home at the same time that we were supposed to get home, which is crazy. It all worked out, right? But she took action, called, the guy found it. It was meant to be. Then we had a 7-hour layover in business class, like lounges,
in the lounge,
which we wouldn't have even had an opportunity to experience if we would have taken that first one.
Yeah. I know. It all worked out. And I wasn't even going to call because it will tell you in your app, right? So in the app, it said, oh, you're eligible for business for the first leg. So it was the same thing from Bali to Dubai. And I was like, I want to go the whole way, right? I want to go the whole way. And we had the points for it. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to call. And that's when he said, we can do it if you change your flight, which I would never have known that if I didn't just pick up the phone and call. And so we ended up getting it the whole way, which again, couldn't get any further, right? I don't want to just fly on a 10-hour flight. I want to fly as long as I possibly can. And that ended up being 24 hours of fly time, like literally on the airplane, which if you think about it, that's insane.
It is.
A fly time in business class with the 7-hour layover in the business class lounge. And it truly was the best day of my life.
No, it was.
It was the best day of my life.
I mean, we literally started out in Bali in an amazing lounge that was connected to Emirates business. We boarded the plane, had a 9-hour flight, got off, went into Dubai, had the business class lounge, which has amazing food. The only thing was at that time, there wasn't any sleepers available. They were all booked up because we got in at like 1 a.m. But we had an amazing lounge with food 24 hours. I took a shower. They had amazing like soaps and shampoos and like everything you need in there. So I was like refreshed going into our now 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
And then we boarded that flight, which was crazy because then we boarded that flight at like 7 a.m. or something, 6 a.m. And we didn't even have to wait in line at the gate. We sat in business class, had a 7 a.m.
Lounge.
Business class lounge, had a 7 a.m. glass of wine, and like cheersed it because we're like, fuck it, why not, right? Like we're about to board a 14-hour flight that we'll sleep at some point, but like it might as well be 2 p.m. now. It doesn't matter, right? Time doesn't matter. And so we're sitting in the lounge. We have 5 minutes until our plane is like final call. We get up from the lounge and we board our plane from the lounge.
That was cool.
Literally ticket in on the top, didn't see anybody, top deck, boarded our flight, got our seats, sat there, and then had champagne. And then there was a medical emergency, and so they delayed us like 45 minutes, but we had champagne. We're just like walking around, like
chilling,
watching a movie.
Snacks,
yeah, they had like full-on snacks coming out for us.
I was just excited because we got more time on the plane. I didn't even care.
Yep.
You know,
just sitting there.
It's funny how when you're traveling, like time becomes irrelevant. Like traveling like that, right? When you're traveling for 48 hours. And it's funny because, like you said, we were drinking wine at 7 a.m. And it's like, it just, none of that matters. And for years and years and years, I was always somebody, I never drank ever when I was traveling because I never wanted to feel.
Well, because you got violently sick our first time flying to Europe.
Yeah.
Where you threw up the entire flight because you thought it was because of the beer you had.
Oh my God. Yeah, oh my God, that was horrible. I had like half a beer. We went to like Chili's too.
Yeah.
And had burgers and I had a beer. And, excuse me. Yeah, I was violently ill the entire flight. It was absolutely horrible. So
Remember,
I think
you
I
had
was
to
kind
pay
of
money
scarred.
because we didn't know that you had to pay money in Venice for bathrooms.
Yeah.
And you went to go
just
throw
so I could
up.
throw up.
And then had to come back and get euros, which I barely had any. And like,
just so I could go throw up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was horrible. And so yeah, I never ever drank again after that. Which on international flights, a lot of times it's whether you're in business class or not, it's like complimentary, like beer, wine, whatever. And I never ever drank. So it's like, nope, I want to feel good. I want to feel refreshed. I never want to feel sick on an airplane because it's like the worst. And then when we started getting into lounges and stuff, and then you would get free wine, I started
free cocktails.
Yeah, cocktails. I started to have wine. I'm like, dude, I've been missing out. Like, drinking wine and traveling makes the travel experience so much more fun. Like, whether you're in coach or, like, doesn't matter. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. I'm like, I have been missing out all these years, and knock on wood, I have never had that situation happen again.
I don't think you ever will.
But yeah, so on the way from Dubai to New York, this flight had a bar, like an actual bar that you could go sit at and order a drink on an airplane.
Talk to the other business class people.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
which we didn't.
Which we didn't. We were having our own little party.
But it was so cool. So we were in like our jammies.
Which they give you.
That are
Like
so
beautiful,
comfortable.
like comfortable. Mine were too big. I should have got a large. But anyway.
They were too big. You should have gotten a large.
Yeah, I got an XL.
Oh, okay.
They were too large. They were too big.
So we were like, let's have a jammy date. Because our seats we sat in front of each other so we could each have a window. So we weren't like next to each other. So we're like, jammy date, 7, whatever time it was, like in 30. And so we went into the bar and the bartender made me a dirty martini.
Yeah, she did.
On an airplane. And you had
I had a
whiskey
scotch.
Or scotch.
Which was a good scotch. And you had a goose martini.
Yes. And it was honestly the best drink I've ever had. And we sat there in our jammies and there was like a little booth.
So then Kim and I are sitting there talking with our cocktails, just like cheersing, like having the time of our life. Has a huge TV screen, so we're like seeing like the plane. It's like flashing through, like
We were over Europe.
Like we were just like, oh my God, like there's like Copenhagen, there's Denmark, there's this, there's that. We're like, oh my God, look at all this. And then she comes over with a plate, and it had like peanuts and dried fruit and olives and like all that. Like, would you like any more snacks? Like, we could have ordered like sandwiches and like whenever we wanted. Like, there was like bar snacks.
I know.
It was like insane. So then she's like, you want another one? We're like, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, we do.
So then what was cool was at one point we're sitting back there and then the seatbelt sign came on. The turbulence was coming. So in our little bar seats, there's seatbelts. So we just like buckled up in our little seatbelt with our drinks and like just sitting back there while there's like turbulence. And it's like in the middle of like where the bathroom and the door would be.
Yeah.
So it's like a big space.
Yeah.
And it had like handles and then like bar tables with like, oh my God, it was
so cool.
The bar was beautiful.
Yeah. No, that was hands down best day of my life. Best cocktail, best date I've ever been on with you.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was a cool date.
Like, what? We're in an airplane having a cocktail, eating olives.
Flying over Europe.
To me, that was something I will never, ever, ever forget. It was just so cool. And then we just went back to our seats and then we had dinner, watched our movie, whatever. And when we touched down in New York, I cried. I was like, and we were on the plane for 14 hours and I was like, I don't want to get off. Like, I was just comfortable. And it was just, there's also something for me too about just being in the air. being on a plane because I never get Wi-Fi. And you know, there you can get Wi-Fi and like stay connected and stuff, but for me, I never have.
Oh, I don't either.
And I just love being completely disconnected. It's like there's nothing I need to get on my phone for. Like I'll usually like write out things like in my notes. Like if I'm having thoughts, you know, I'll like write things out. So I'll write a lot. But I don't check my email. Nobody expects you to get back to them. They know you're on a long flight. And I just love the feeling of being completely disconnected, so just present in the moment I'm in, which is on the plane, having a drink with you, not worried or thinking about anything else. And I just love that part about flying. I don't think I'll ever get Wi-Fi. I just like the disconnect.
I do too.
When can you just disconnect from
and
life
have
for hours?
And have an excuse.
Yeah.
And no, I love that too, because I think like you and I also, you know, when we were manifesting in 2015, especially in the San Francisco area, I was actually saying like, what a cool time to like whip out my computer and like edit videos and do this. And like, I drew that line a long time ago. Like on the way back from New Zealand, I edited a video the entire trip and got one done. But like, and then I looked up and I'm like, we're almost there. Like I just wasted all this time of like just relaxing and having ideas flowing and being in my own thoughts and listening to music and watching movies and just like relaxing and enjoying the experience. So I was like, I'm never going to work on a plane.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. Like I'll work in the airport before I board. And I'll get to the airport early to get things done. But I'm not going to work on a plane.
Yeah, there's something about when they close that cabin door and you're just like, it's like a free-for-all with your time. Like watch movies, drink wine, or write something if you feel inspired or whatever, listen to music. Like it's just like your time. You're in the sky, you're traveling somewhere. To me, it is my favorite place in the world. It truly is. Ooh, our Instacart's here.
It's the typical day of just like, oh, I feel like taking a nap now.
Oh, yeah. You can just do whatever you want.
I'll just snooze for an hour and wake up and then like watch this movie or have a snack or go to the bathroom. Or, you know, it's just like.
It's life.
Especially in business.
Yeah, right. In coach, you're kind of like,
get me off this plane.
If we were in coach for 14 hours, like, let's fucking go.
That delay, totally I would have been so mad because then I would have been like, we're missing our flight back home. Like, what? It's just such a funny, different experience. Perception, right?
It changes the experience. So then we land in New York, and our flight, we missed our flight because we had that delay, but they got us on another flight because it's like crazy because Charleston's a small airport. So we have to go New York to Atlanta, Atlanta to Charleston. And so we had business class on that flight from New York to Atlanta. First class. But because we were on standby, we just like basically had a middle seat. And I was like, I don't even care. I just want to get home. It's only a 2-hour flight, so it's not that bad. And then we made our flight to Charleston, which is only like a 45-minute flight.
Which was crazy too, because again, like having lounge access in an airport changes the game, changes your travel like experience. Because we were Delta first class, plus we have the Platinums. And if you want to learn more about points, make sure to sign up for our membership site that will be launching in April, which we will be talking about more of the lifestyle of the traveler with our monthly workshops, talking about how we use our points and how we have lounge access and how we were able to do that and still be travelers and build all of that up, which is easy for everybody to learn. And so we'll be giving those tips on that membership site. But what was awesome, do you remember? We had a very short layover to where we didn't think we were going to make it in New York because we had a different terminal to get to. But we just popped into the Delta Sky Lounge, literally grabbed like a sandwich, some salad, a cookie, and like some juice and whatever, and like had enough to like eat because we weren't going to get home to Charleston until 10:30 p.m. And we had a whole flight in New York and all those things. And so we were off with our food and we had to run to that flight. And so just having that lounge, we didn't have to wait in line at some fast food place, feel like crap. We had good, hearty food that held us over till we got home because of the lounge access.
Yeah.
And then it was like, boom, right on the plane because we were first class, bing, bang, boom. Home,
yeah.
And we got home.
Which was so funny. So it's like a 45-minute flight. It's not long. But in business class or first class or whatever, one of the perks is that you always get a pre-takeoff drink. And you can get wine, champagne, a soda, whatever you want. And like, it's fun, right? And so that's what I would always, when I was manifesting even our first business class flight, that was always what I held the image of, is taking off with a glass of champagne. And that's what I always envisioned, because that is what you get to do in business class. And so anyway, so the flight attendant like gives us our pre-drink, our pre-takeoff drink. And on all airplanes, so even in business class, because they give you wine and champagne in an actual glass, but for takeoff, you can still keep it, but if you haven't finished it, because I like to save mine for actual takeoff because that's my vibe, they'll give you a plastic cup that you can pour it into. So you can't have the glass, but you can still have the drink itself, whatever that is. And that's very normal and standard. And so I wasn't even saving it. I think we just had a soda, actually. We just had a soda for takeoff. Yeah. And she was like, I'm not a fast drinker. And we were getting ready, taxiing out, whatever. She's like, okay, you need to like finish your drink. And I was like, why can't I just hold this for takeoff? It was in a plastic cup. She's like, no, you have to finish it or throw it out. And I'm like, okay, that's weird, but maybe it's just a weird thing here for takeoff. Okay. So I like chugged my soda and like threw out my cup. It was very bizarre. So now we're in the air, and then she was...
Again, 45-minute flight.
Yeah. And then we got a glass of wine. We're like, well, why not? Let's have one more
It literally
banger.
was an entire plastic cup filled to the brim.
Oh, she had a heavy hand.
Heavy hand. And number one, that flight also had a little bit of turbulence to where everybody had to buckle up, like service was canceled. So like she got us our wine a little late.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. It was late. And again, I'm just like sipping it, enjoying it. It's in a plastic cup. Typically you have whatever you have going on when you're on a flight at the end, and you can just like throw out your cup at the end or whatever. It's not a big deal. So then she comes over and she's like, I need your cups. Yeah. And we're like,
we
why?
Still had half a cup left. You had like 3/4 left.
Yeah, I had like a couple of sips.
Yeah.
She's like, wrap it up. I need your cup. And I'm like...
Well, then you said, well, I'm not done. You're like, I have to finish it? She's like, you don't have to finish it, but I'm taking it either way.
Yeah. And I was like, why can't we just hold a plastic cup? Why does it matter? Like... What's the deal? Like, she just got so weird, and she was like staring at us like really creepily, like making us like she wasn't leaving until we gave her the cups. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, whatever, then just take it. Like, I can't chug this. I'm not going to chug this wine before we get off the plane. Just fucking take it then. Yeah. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced in my life. Yeah. Like, I don't know if she just didn't want to have any mess or something.
I know there are some rules about like with alcohol.
How many flights have we flown?
I just don't think the flight attendants care. I think she's just one that like followed. Because remember Dirk in our first one? He was just like, FAA rules say you can't have alcohol.
That was during COVID. They changed, for whatever reason, they changed that. That was our first ever business class flight. And so basically we could have champagne, but we couldn't have it during takeoff for whatever reason. He said it was because of COVID. They changed that. Every other flight that we have flown, business class, you're always able to have it during takeoff. You just have to put it in the plastic cup. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The whole thing was very, very bizarre. And again, one of them was a soda.
Yeah, I know.
Like, really?
That's true.
So anyways... we got home at 11, whatever, got our Uber, came home, and that was just hands down the best experience. I still have my jammies from the plane, and I'll wear them sometimes and just like reminisce about the day. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. So now that we've done that, I'm like, okay, cool, check. I need to like, now I need to manifest something else.
Well, we have to check out Singapore because we hear
that's a good one.
And I just had a Discovery email. It's like Discovery. It's like a cool blog. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about airports that are basically cities, and like Singapore is like the number one airport to fly into. Yeah. It's like so amazing. It has the world's largest waterfall, the most butterflies in a butterfly garden. Like they have a theater. They have a driving range, they have like all sorts of stuff, and their business class is like supposed to be amazing. A rival to Emirates.
Yeah, I think I've heard it's even better. I don't know. Like, mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. we have no points left because we used them all for these flights. So we have to rebuild. So maybe my 40th birthday will be Singapore.
But then you also found that new thing with Kara and Nate where it was like a apartment suite on a plane.
So that's what they said. They hit the pinnacle. Like, you cannot get any higher than this. Like, they're like, we're done at this point. There's nothing else you can do. It's, was it Qatar?
No.
It was that Etihad. It's an apartment.
Yeah.
It is a 1-bedroom with a bed.
And a couch.
And
a
another
shower.
room, a separate room with a couch and a TV. And then a bathroom with a shower. I mean, just laying in a bed.
That you can close the door to and do hanky-panky.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. And then come out and have supper and like watch a movie. It was like a big screen TV. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely insane. And like
cuddle on the couch with your seatbelts on and watch a movie.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for my 40th.
Holy shit.
But to get that ticket, you already had to have a first class ticket. Then to get that suite, it was an additional $5,000.
Oh my God.
So I can't even imagine how much that is.
Well, right. And I wonder how it works too if you like upgraded to first class and then paid the $5,000.
Yeah, it's
because,
probably
like,
something you can't use points for.
Exactly. Because like, I mean, you got to think that ticket, just first class ticket, wherever you're going, let's say you were going to Bali, would be like $25,000.
Oh, 100%.
So then it's like, what's an extra $5 at that point? But like,
yeah,
that's just crazy.
I would never, ever, even though I'm such an aviation geek and like love, that would be the best experience of my life. I would never pay money for like that $25,000 for that. I'd only if we could use points. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. So. Anyways, I got a new goal I need to set, a new manifestation for flying.
I mean, we'll figure it out. Maybe they'll want us to come test it out for them.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure that's why Kara and Nate got to do it for free because they did a video on it. So, God, I want to do that so bad.
I know.
But their flight was only like 7 hours, so they were like, "This is just not
enough
time."
No, you can't even. No.
Their whole meal lasted like 5 hours.
Yeah.
That they had to quickly take a shower. And like, because they're like, obviously we have to shower. Hello, it's our own suite. And then Kara is like, oh, they ate dessert in bed. It's like, we at least have to go in there. Like, cause they were giving them like a 5-course tasting menu.
That's crazy.
They had a butler. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, I gotta pee. Instagram's here, or Instacart's here. And yeah.
That was our experience. Achievable
with
to
manifesting and flying Emirates. And just get clear on what you want, guys. Figure it out. Feel it from within. Have it be something that you really, really, really connect to on such a deep level. Believe you can have it.
Take the steps necessary.
Create visuals around it, reminding yourself every day, and take steps day
Whoa.
towards what you want.
Wow. All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week or over on the gram at Kim and Aaron GG.
Word. Bye.